What's up, y'all? Hope all is well. Um, Great weekend of football, man. Wow, really great weekend of football, bro. Um, Sorry about that. Oh man, headlines today: USC Lincoln Riley finally cuts ties with Alex Grinch. It took a while, but he finally cuts ties with Alex Lynch. Um, I'm gonna pull up some Alex Lynch, Grinch. I said some Alex Grinch stats. He had been with Lincoln Riley for quite some time. Um, the original hire was applauded upon after Lincoln Riley got rid of Mike Stoops. Um, you know, I I kind of think you let him finish out the year. It's only 2 games left. I mean, what is it going to hurt to let him coach them last 2 games? They were giving up 34.5 points a game, bottom 30 in the country in every stat category, 120th in rushing defense. I think rushing, you know, when you approach um, rushing as a team, that's a mentality. It ain't really the guy calling the plays. It's more of the mentality of the players because 120th in rushing and you're a power five is horrible. 107th against the pass. You know, Brian Odom. I think that's the kid from Ada. Well, I say kid. He's about my age. He came out of Ada. I'm pretty sure that's the guy. Um, Moves up as interim. I'm happy for Brian, man. You know, really good guy. You know, but I just don't see how this, 52 against Washington was the final straw because Cal, I mean, it's been horrible. Like, it's since that Arizona State game, that defense has played horrible every week, you know. So you could have cut ties earlier, I think. But I think him and Grinch kind of had a friendship along with the coachship, and he wanted him to get it right. 572 yards of offense. Uh, you know, where does Riley go from here? He's putting up. I mean, I don't know what USC's numbers are as an offense, but they've got to be up there. But when you got a defense that's giving up more than your offense, you know, and you got Oregon next week. Good Lord, God bless y'all. But yeah, Grants was fired today, and USC falls out of the top 25 for the first time since Lincoln Riley's been there, and everybody's making a big deal about that. But you lost 3 times. Most of the teams in the top 25 has only lost twice. I don't know of any 3 lost teams in there, so I don't know what the big deal is. Georgia's still number 1 in the AP top 25. Um, had a big game against Missouri. They pulled it out. Missouri left some plays on the field, though. Missouri showed um, they gave the blueprint on how to attack Georgia, but they stopped doing it, and they weren't running those combo routes that was so successful early in the game, late in the game, and they made some bad decisions down the road, and they ended up losing by 9, but they played pretty well. I said last week that Missouri could give um, Georgia a run for their money, and they did. Michigan, Ohio State, Florida State. Washington remains at 5 in the AP. Then you got Oregon, Texas, Alabama, Penn State. Uh, this is a stat that I see. The last time the first 9 teams in the poll went unchanged this late in the season was November 19th. Ole Miss moved up to number 10 in the AP. Louisville, Oregon State, Utah, Tennessee, Oklahoma State at 15. Didn't I tell y'all Oklahoma State was in the driver's seat in the Big 12? Y'all argue with me? Oklahoma State's won 5 games in a row, folks. Greatest coaching job I've seen in a long time to turn your season around. You win 5 straight, 3 over ranked teams. Um, what can I say about Mike Gundy, man? Yesterday was, there was times during the game I was just like, get it together. What are you doing? You get the ball and you run the ball twice, and then you do some bullshit on third down and you punt the ball, and it's just like, why are you not attacking? The Owens kid, Oklahoma State, was the MVP of the game to me. It seems like they couldn't put nobody out there to cover him. He played well. He was nicked up. Um, Ali, Ali was nicked up a little bit too, but I think it was because OU actually was putting some hits on that guy. They did play really good defense yesterday. I know there's some people down on OU right now, but Venables has that defense responding. They played well. They played good enough to win. Um, Controversial call at the end of the game. I don't think no ref throws that flag. They were kind of jostling, both of them kind of close to the out of bounds line. It's an iffy call. If you throw the flag, you almost give them the game. It's crazy because Stoops still caught that ball even though he was out of bounds. I don't know. I have to look at it a few more times to see if he was actually pulled out of bounds. Um, Tough play. Um, you know, it's just it was kind of a bang bang play. There were a lot of plays during that game where the refs let them play. So going into the third and fourth quarter, they kind of just stuck with the way they were calling the game. Unless you just flat out just took out a player, they wasn't gonna call pass. I mean, you can say all you want to about the refs, but both teams had plenty of chances to win that game. Like it don't come down to one play. Like it kind of dampers the whole great game that was played. Like the last Bedlam game. Ali came in the fourth quarter and he made some plays. He scored the touchdown to put him ahead. Um, you know, it was some back and forth. It was at times. One time OSU was up 3, they go for it on fourth down and get stopped. OU goes down and scores a touchdown. I mean, it was a back and forth battle, kind of what you would expect from a Bedlam game. But Oklahoma State, they win the last Bedlam game that we might see for quite some time. I'm pulling up the Big 12 standings because I want to see. um, I want to see. There was a 5-way tie for first. Some teams lost yesterday, and now it's looking like Texas and Oklahoma State are the only 5-1 teams. Kansas is right behind them. Um, Oklahoma State has the tiebreaker over Kansas and Oklahoma. So in essence, I'm not sure if they clinch if they win their next game. Um, I don't know who Texas. Let's see who Texas has left on their schedule. I looked at Oklahoma State's schedule yesterday, and they look like winnable games. Um, Texas has at TCU, at Iowa State, Texas Tech. And I just said this a couple of days ago on Twitter. Like, Texas Tech could be the one that ruins Texas. Texas is lined up to maybe get in the playoffs. Like, they only losses to Oklahoma on a neutral field. They could win out. They could go to the Big 12 championship and play a close to top 10 Oklahoma State. Their resume might be good enough to get them in because you know that Ohio State and Michigan have to play each other. There's gonna be a big there's gonna be a SEC championship where Georgia's probably gonna have to play uh, Alabama. You know, and if Alabama was to beat Georgia, Texas could get in. Texas could get in. They have a pretty good resume right now because if you watch the college football every week when they do the voting on for the playoff, they talk about the resumes. They talk about who you've beaten, who you played, things of that nature. So look out for Texas, down the stretch. Let's get to some scores um, from this past week. We had quite a few games. I watched as many as I can. Ohio State and Rutgers. It was close. 9-7 at halftime. Um, Rutgers was winning. And I said, Rutgers can bloody you up a little bit, but second half, Ohio State comes out and they score 28 points. They get the victory. I mean, um, let's see. And we talked about Missouri and Georgia. Michigan all over Purdue. That game wasn't really never close. Florida State just kind of going through the motions against Pitt, 10-7 at the half. They put up 14 in the fourth and kind of laid. I mean, I don't know if they were looking forward to Miami week, but Miami got beat by NC State. Like, bad loss, horrible loss because NC State did not have offense. But we'll talk about that later. And we talked about Washington over USC, 52-42. These are shootouts. These are what the Big 12 used to look like. 52-42. Boy. Oregon all over Cal. Texas, they had us scared. Kansas State's probably kicking themselves in the ass today because they could have won that game. They should have won that game. Texas did and it comes back to Texas's quarterback Malik Murphy. Like, he starts off good and he looks the part, but that kid just gives the ball away. Like, he threw two passes that was just straight to Kansas State. Wasn't a Texas player in sight. He has to get it together. I don't know when Ewers is coming back. Very interesting down the stretch to see if they're gonna rush him back because Texas has a chance. They could end the season easily. They win the next three and 11-1. Winning, going to the Big 12 championship would be huge for them. Bama and LSU was another game, man. Bama's quarterback, like, what happened to LSU's defense? Like, their quarterback I think he rushed for 4 or maybe 5 touchdowns. Like, I don't know. LSU just seems like a quarterback. Like, all they got is Daniels. Like, I mean, get it together. You had a chance to, set yourself apart in the SEC and maybe make it to the SEC championship, and you go down to Alabama and you lose by 14. Like, I don't think that game was ever where we was thinking LSU could win that game. But hats off to Bama winning. We talked about Bedlam. Ole Miss and Texas A&M was another game, and Jimbo's 3-3, and I don't know what the boosters down in A&M is gonna do, but they're 5-4. I don't really know what they got left. You would want to try to get to 8-4. Try to win your last 3. I don't know what their last 3 looks like. Let's see what it looks like because Jimbo's definitely on the hot seat. Um, Mississippi State's a winnable game, and they got Abilene Christian, and they're at LSU. So if you get to 7-5, does that keep you around? Well, I don't know. You know, good luck to Jimbo though. I don't like to see nobody get fired. Penn State all over Maryland. Penn State with a big matchup next week with Michigan is gonna be a tough one. Louisville rolled all over Virginia Tech. Wasn't even close. Notre Dame. You go to Clemson. You just let them just run dick all up in you, man. Clemson played well. No one scored in the fourth quarter, which was shocking because you're only down 8 and you don't score nothing, man. Notre Dame, your playoff hopes is over. Your New Year's Six bowl hopes are over. You lose to Clemson. I think Clemson's beat y'all twice in a row. Back to the drawing board for Notre Dame. You had a tough season, tough schedule, 7-3. You can finish out 9-3, which would be a pretty decent year. But y'all started off the year with national championship aspirations, and you're 7-3. Um, Oregon and Colorado. Colorado came on late that game, and I really want to, Dion them has 3 games left, and I really want to see them go to a bowl. They're 4-5 right now, but I mean, I don't know. You know, they got Arizona at home, at Washington State, at Utah, and you got to win 2 of the 3 to be bowl eligible. Do they do it? I hope so, but I, I'm not really favoring them making a bowl this year. I mean, you know, Tennessee. Why are you scheduling UConn? I mean, 59-3. Like, how does that make you better? Utah over Arizona State. They bounced back after losing last week. UCLA loses one to Arizona, and I've been telling y'all about Arizona. This Arizona team is 6-3, 4-2 in the Pac-12, um, playing well. And they have a chance. They have a chance to make some noise. They still have. Let's see who they got left on their schedule. Their schedule should be favorable. They got Colorado. They got Utah. They got Arizona State. They lost to they lost to Washington, USC by 2, and Mississippi State. Like, great season by Arizona. Like, no one had y'all, Kansas over Iowa State, Both teams are 4-2 in the Big 12 now. Kansas is at 7-2, folks, with a win over Oklahoma. Um, Tulane, they're kind of just going through the motions. I mean, do we take them serious? I mean, no disrespect to the kids that play there, but are we taking them serious? Let's go to some other games, and we just went through the ranked games, but let's see what else we got that happened. I kind of flipped through a few games. Week. That Wyoming Colorado State, I watched a lot of that. That was a pretty good game, back and forth. Um, you know, um, I'm still scrolling. Army over Air Force. Um, you know, that is a huge upset, by the way. Air Force was undefeated. They're now 8-1. Arkansas over Florida. Florida's at 5-4. Arkansas is at 3-6. Arkansas gets their first victory in the SEC. Uh, Michigan State gets a victory over Nebraska. Now, see, this was a game that I thought Nebraska might get, and they let Michigan State win at home. Nebraska still needs a victory to become bowl eligible. They're 5-4. Um, Jacksonville State over. Like South Carolina, how do you lose to Jacksonville State? You are a SEC team. No disrespect to Jacksonville State because I've got a friend that's daughter plays basketball at Jacksonville State. But you are South Carolina. You are in the SEC. Like you are not supposed to lose that game, but Jacksonville. Oh, they did win the game. I'm looking at that wrong. I'm sorry. Jacksonville State though, good record, 7-3. Sorry about that. I thought y'all. I looked at that score wrong. North Carolina playing Campbell. Like, come on, dog. I said this last week. Just come on, man. Georgia Tech, another victory over all over Virginia. I mean, Georgia Tech's at 5-4, 4-2 in the ACC. They're right in the mixed. In the ACC. Um, let's go to Houston, a 1 point victory over Baylor. They're both, Baylor might not, probably most likely won't go to a bowl after winning the Big 12. Well, winning the Big 12 2 years ago. Or did they win? Didn't they win it last year too? Did they beat TCU? Who TCU? TCU got beat by K State. I'm sorry. 2 years ago, Baylor won the Big 12, and now they're 2-4 in the Big 12, 3-6 overall. Who? A lot of soul searching going on down there. Auburn over Vandy. I've told y'all about Auburn quite a bit, but that's all about all the scores. Kentucky over Mississippi State. Miami just disappointed me again, like 20-6. Like, come on, bro. 10-6 at halftime. You don't score anything. You get stopped on fourth down on the same play 3 times. It was horrible. TVD, like, I mean, I'm just ready to cut ties with him. He's a senior. Let's see what the freshman got. Let's start looking towards the future. Let's see who our next quarterback is. We got to start, but like right now, I mean, I know it was, people are loyal to the seniority and all that shit. Like that don't mean nothing right now. You 6-3. You should easily be 8-1. You know, I mean, horrible, horrible, horrible. The only game that you really just should have lost was to North Carolina, and you were up close at halftime. I don't know about this Miami team. I know it's going to take Cristobal some time. He's building, but I mean, just highly disappointed in the way our offense played. Our defense played well. Stanford beat Washington State. Washington State was ranked at one point. But let's go look at the schedule for next week. Um, Things are looking up and up. Mm, um, excuse me. Uh, let's pull it up. Week 11. Virginia at Louisville. That could be a good one. That could be a good one. But I think Louisville wins that. I really do. Um, that's Thursday night matchup. Friday, North Texas SMU with a Texas game. The big noon kickoff, Michigan at Penn State. I would like for that to be a night game. Penn State maybe whites out, but big one. Alabama at Kentucky. That's a trap game for Alabama. You come off a big victory and you go to a gritty Kentucky that's not gonna lay down. Watch for that score. Texas Tech at Kansas. Kansas, you got to win this game. You are still in the mix for the Big 12. You have to win this game. Tulsa at Tulane could be a good one. Georgia Tech at Clemson. Georgia Tech, if you want to take that next step, I know y'all's new coach is doing a lot of good things. He might be coach of the year. Go win this game. Go beat Dabo and Death Valley. Go win this game. Y'all capable of winning this game. Everybody calls y'all tech school. A lot of y'all ain't seen them play and realize that there's a whole lot of talent in Georgia. And everybody can't go to the University of Georgia. So y'all do have talent. Y'all do have some dogs on that defense. Y'all have some guys that's gonna play in the NFL. Go to Clemson and try to win this game. Uh, let's see. I'm not seeing a whole lot. Baylor at Kansas State. Miami at Florida State. You want to change your season around Miami? You win this game. You go into this game and you win this game. You win this game, everything's forgiven. You just beat Florida State, who's winning a lot of recruiting battles with you. Y'all both are in the top 15, top 10 recruiting. You win this battle. You sway some recruits. You start to develop because it took y'all some. It took y'all's coach. I think he's in year 4 there. So it takes some time to rebuild. Y'all are rolling. I give Florida State my hats off to Florida State. I think Florida State can beat any team in the country right now. But Miami, you want to make up for this season, you win this game. You go down, no mistakes. You handle business. You get all your backs healthy. You get all your ducks in a row, and you go to Florida State at Doak Campbell Stadium and you win. And all is forgiven. The Georgia Tech, not everything is forgiven. You win this game. We shall see. Tennessee at Missouri is going to be a big one in the SEC. 2:30 kickoff. It doesn't look like it's on any networks. Wow. Um, Washington at Utah. Washington can they pull it off? You know, Washington. I mean, can Utah pull that off? I mean, very interesting. Ole Miss at Georgia. Lane Kiffin. I want you to do this. I like Lane. Man, Lane Kiffin, man. Lincoln Riley is 1A. Lane Kiffin is 1B when it comes to offense. Man, that dude is so creative. He's an excellent play caller. Um, the sets that he comes up with, the way he distributes the ball, everything about Lane Kiffin tells me that they're going to beat Georgia this week. At Georgia, let's go. Ole Miss. Cheering for you this week. West Virginia at Oklahoma. That's another game. How do these are in the wrong standings? Because Oklahoma, don't let West Virginia beat you, man. Do not let West Virginia come to town and make you go. You beat them like they stole something this week. You got to. Texas at TCU. Don't go down there tripping. Florida at LSU. I really don't see USC at Oregon is the last game, one of the last games of the day, and that could very well be another blowout. We shall see how the defense responds. Um, Now let's move on to the NFL. Week 8, I think we're in. Week 9. Yes, week 9 in the NFL. Um, I didn't get to watch a lot of football today. I did watch that Steelers Titans. That was a snooze fest on Thursday night. I did wake up this morning and watch the Chiefs jump up 21-0 and the Dolphins fight back. That was an exciting game in Germany. Uh, Tyreek Hill getting stripped and the ball getting ran back ended up being the difference in the game. Kind of ironic. Really close game. Playoff atmosphere. Would have loved to see that one in the States, but I know the NFL is trying to expand. Wow, you send two good teams over there and they play a really good game in front of a foreign crowd. Great job. Um, Vikings, Josh Dobbs, man. And I tweeted this out like Josh Dobbs is a damn good quarterback. I don't see why nobody's taking this guy serious. He didn't get a full week of practice. He was, he got traded earlier this week. He gets there, and he just does his thing. Like, I mean, it's crazy because his stats are going to be like, how do you do that when you hardly practice this week? You just got a new team. I mean, someone's got to take this guy serious. I mean, he doesn't have to be $100 million quarterback or nothing like that, but just come on, man. He played well. He gets the victory for y'all. I mean, I don't know what is there else to say about Josh Dobbs. He scored. He took him down there. He was 20 of 30 for 158 and two touchdowns. He ran for a touchdown. So he had a wonderful day fantasy wise. Um, Granted, their quarterback was 5 for 6. The rookie, Jaron Hall, he got hurt out with a concussion. But Josh Dobbs, man, someone needs to give this kid a chance. I really like him. You know, um, Seahawks just flat out embarrassed, 37-3. I mean, I had to hear all this shit from Seahawks fans this past week. We're in first place. We win the division. Whoop de whoop. And y'all turn around and get y'all's ass handed to y'all. 37-3. Just embarrassing. Not fit to hold the crown. The Browns are rolling. They beat the Cardinals 27-0. The Browns are sitting at 5-3. Um, it's gonna be interesting to see how the AFC North pans out. The Packers beating the Rams today, 20-3. Like, Rams is 3-6. It's just all bad for Bubba and the Rams, man. Just just all bad. Texans at the Buccaneers. Now that was a hell of a game. Baker made some plays. Uh, C.J. Stroud just give him Rookie of the Year now. I think he set a rookie passing record today. He took his team down the field and got a touchdown when they was, could have just tried to tie it with a field. But C.J. Stroud is a franchise quarterback. He's a franchise rookie quarterback at that. Bears losing to the Saints. Colts get a victory, over the Panthers. Panthers are sitting at 1-7, looking like they're gonna win the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. Raiders, big victory over the Giants, and I just seen the deal that says Jones, the quarterback from Giants, looked like he tore his ACL, which is bad news. I watched some of the Cowboys Eagles game. It was good. Eagles come out and win. They're 8-1. Bengals is up on the Bills right now, 14-7. And Monday night, we got the Chargers at the Jets. Now let's look forward to next week, Week 10. We got some really good games. Thursday night just gives us the Bears and the Panthers. Somebody's got to win that. Someone has to win that. This leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Just seeing two bad teams play each other. Patriots at the Ravens at the Browns. Big time matchup. Texans at the Bengals, which is gonna be a good one. And my phone. Um, 49ers at the Jaguars. That is a game the 49ers have to win coming off a bye. You do not want to drop to 5-4. Saints at the Vikings, both 2 5-4 teams battling out to be atop of that division. Packers at the Steelers. Steelers win this game. Steelers win it. Stay within reach of that. That might be the toughest division in football, but the Steelers, the Ravens, the Browns, that group, yeah, tough division. Um, Lions at the Chargers could be a good one. Um, Cowboys at the Giants. Cowboys should win that. Seahawks at the Commanders. Jets Raiders could be a good one. Broncos Bills. Not really no sexy matchups for next week in the NFL. Couple early games that you might want to check into, but not really sexy. But it was good tapping in with y'all. I'm trying to stay consistent. Any we need sponsors. Holler at me if you want to be a sponsor of the Dondo show. It's only gonna keep getting bigger once I just buckle down and start getting serious about this podding, podcast, video cast, whatever you want to call it. Um, also be on the lookout for the Don Diego experience. It's going to be something different. Dealing with the rap game and classic albums, stuff of that nature. It's going to be something that you've never seen before. So I don't want to really just let the cat out the bag about the Don Diego experience until we have several episodes shot. We don't want nobody to steal our vibe that we got going. Should be good. Check out Dondo on the box. Um, Shouts out to all the people that do potting in this area. I always shout y'all out. Dodge Cast, Joe, the Dylan and Joe show, the Young Boys, Kyle and them. I always forget the name of their podcast. Shouts out to them. You know, I went to the high school game. Chickasha played well. They lost. Cash goes to Blanchard. I'm going to do an high school special later on this week with my picks on who I think will make it week by week. Um, Bracketology. Stats out to my dude Steve Black for hitting me up about that idea. Yes, I'm going to do it. Yes, I'm going to do my research. Yes, I'm going to come with some picks. Look for that show Wednesday. Um, so enjoy y'all Sunday. Make sure your clocks is put back right. Your alarms are set right so we can have a good week. Keep me in prayer. I'll pray for you. Shouts out to my church family. Love y'all. Dondo Show. We about to sign off.